These are golden nights, no more time to waste. Gotta turn to right, party till the day. These are golden nights, opportunity won't wait. Gotta turn to right.
Broadcast live daily from the 71st Cannes Film Festival, right after the red carpet, and here in our studio on the French Riviera, it's the Worth It Show! And now, from the Hotel Martinez Beach, here's your host, Jeannie Gordula.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to this final episode of the Worth It Show. The world of cinema is a world of glamour, but it's also a world where incredible women work, produce films, and express their vision. They give it their all to create fantasies for all of us to dream about. Throughout this festival, we have been joined here in the studio by some incredible film stars and directors, and all of you have been with us as well, all of you here in the studio. Thanks for joining us, all of you out there on the Croisette, and all of you there in home in social media land, because all of you are also very much part of this show as well. Now, we are broadcasting live on social media to more than 20 countries worldwide. Let's take a minute now to meet tonight's special guests. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the rising French star of Games of Love and Chance and of Gods and Men and The Source, an actress since she was 13 years old. She's here in Cannes as a director, screening her first short film, Sabrina Ouazani. The muse of Quentin Tarantino, an actor in more than 200 films of all kinds, including Kill Bill, Thelma and Louise, and even Free Willy, the incredible Michael Madsen. Michael is in Cannes promoting his latest film, Trunk. He'll introduce us to his co-star in that film, the Australian actress Cassie Howard. Welcome to both of you. Hello, Cassie, Michael, please take a seat. Hello. Why don't you go over here? And a Hollywood icon, one of the rare film professionals to have received an honorary Palme d'Or in Cannes, the star of They Shoot Horses, Don't They?, Klute, Youth, and her latest film, Book Club. She's also a woman of commitment and conviction, double Oscar winner, Jane Fonda. Jane, welcome. Welcome. So great to have you with us. Standing ovation for Jane Fonda. Jane, wonderful to have you here. Michael, wonderful to have you here. Cassie and Sabrina, there's a lot coming up in this show. Let's just take a quick look at what else is on the way. Deepika Padukone in The Rendezvous, our up-close and personal interview with the star of Indian cinema. Then in Men of Worth, we'll finally get a chance to ask the Game of Thrones star Nikolai Coster-Waldau and the French comedian Alban Ivanov questions women usually get asked. And Cheryl in Beauty vs. Cinema, the British singer and fashionista, gives us her rapid-fire answers to our questions, bringing those two worlds together. And by the end of tonight's show, Jane Fonda has very graciously accepted to step up to our nightly challenge. Did you know about this?
No.
Oh, all right.
No.
I hope you'll be a good sport. We'll get to that in just a few minutes' time.
I'm definitely a good sport.
I believe that. I believe that. Don't worry. First, though, let's take a minute to meet our makeup artist extraordinaire, Val Garland. She has given looks to superstars. She shared with us yesterday a bit more about her fantastic career. And her new book, Validated, is out in October. In that book, she talks for the first time about working with some cultural icons like Kate Moss, Lady Gaga, Vivienne Westwood, Alexander McQueen, John Galliano. Today, she's sharing her expertise with us throughout the show. Hi, Val. Tell us a bit more about what you're doing tonight.
Good evening, Jeannie. Good evening, everybody. Tonight, I'm going to show you on the lovely Imen a look that we did the other day on Tulane. I'm going to show you how to reproduce at home a fabulous red carpet look. So watch this space.
We certainly will, Val. Jane, it is so great to have you back in Cannes, the biggest film festival in the world. You've been working in this industry for almost 60 years in film. What does it mean to you to be here in Cannes today?
I'm glad to be alive, so it's particularly... It's great to be here. You know, I'm very familiar with the south of France, as you probably know, and I've been coming to Cannes before all the glamour part of it. It was, you know... You wore your own clothes, you did your own makeup, and it was very simple. And how many of you live here?
Combien d'entre vous habitez là? Yeah?
C'est bien, yeah. Yeah, see, it's... We sort of wish we could stay longer so we could get to know what it's really like and meet some of you who live here. That would be nice.
Michael,
but it's fun. It's a real honor to be here.
Yeah. Michael, this is your 4th time at the festival. What do you notice that it changes from year to year, or does it kind of feel like the same thing?
Well, I know I've certainly changed. I've grown up quite a bit. I'm a little bit smarter than I used to be.
So more.
Starting to appreciate my life and appreciate being here and slow my Mustang down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's always glamorous, and I think it's the most prestigious festival in the planet. And when I heard I was going to be on here with Janie, I doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
You know, what I love about him, the only thing he was interested in was Lee Marvin. Lee Marvin, remember Lee Marvin and Cat Ballou? He wanted to know how it was working with Lee Marvin. I love you for that. I love you for caring about Lee Marvin.
Cassie, how about you? Now, this is actually your very first time on the Croisette. First impressions.
Oh, I love it. First film, and it went to Cannes, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Sabrina, how about you? You've been here before as an actress, but this time you're in Cannes as a director. How is it different promoting a film as a director as opposed to being here as an actress?
La différence,
well, the difference, let me put it this way,
peut-être un peu plus de pression,
well, a little bit more pressure, a little bit more fear,
ce qu'on a écrit qui
because
vie,
it's
nos
what
images,
we have written is coming to life.
C'est dingue, je suis
so
tellement
it's an interpretation, and I am so happy to be here.
Miss out.
Micah, you are here in Cannes with Cassie to promote your new movie, Trunk. It's directed by the young filmmaker Benjamin Goalabré. What's the story?
Well, it's a bit claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Got a couple of folks involuntarily locked in the trunk, and her being one of them, and...
Cassie, you are one of those people.
Better than me.
You're one of those people locked in the trunk.
Yes,
what was
I
it
am.
like shooting in small spaces like that? Are you claustrophobic at all?
No, and that was one of the things they asked me when signing on to the film if I was claustrophobic, and I didn't exactly know what they meant by that until I got to set. But yeah, we wake up in a trunk, and a lot of the film is shot in the trunk. I think I only shot a couple of scenes outside of the trunk with Michael.
Yeah, you were pretty boxed in there.
Cassie, what was it like working with Michael, who's done so many movies? Did he give you any advice? Say anything?
Oh, I'm
particular?
hugely grateful for having that opportunity, not only on the professional level, but also how lovely and gracious he was personally working on the film.
She had a hard job, and she was really... No, you didn't fuss about anything, and it wasn't easy getting jerked around like that.
No,
I thought you were very, very good and combative, but in an entertaining way.
Yeah, script-wise, I hope.
Michael, you've done so many films in your career with the director Quentin Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill. You're about to shoot his next movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, with Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio. What would you say it is about your relationship with him that just clicks both on the personal level and on the professional level?
Well, he has a great deal of trust in me, and I feel the same way about him. And it's sort of like he kind of knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and I know what he wants me to do before I don't ask him. And so there's no anxiety making the picture, because you kind of figure that it'll probably turn out good one way or the other. And I've been lucky enough to be with them 4 times now, and it's nice when you have that relationship that lasts over time. And he's like the George Stevens and the Alfred Hitchcocks and Elia Kazan and these cats that were really back in the era when those kind of pictures were being made. I think Quentin reminds me of one of those people. I think he's the best of his generation, and I'm lost in the 50s and 60s with Robert Mitchum and Lee Marvin and Burt Lancaster and Donald Sutherland
And he reminds you of that time.
James Cagney, and Humphrey Bogart.
All those guys.
God in heaven.
Just a few. Jane, would you be interested in working with a director like Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, in a blue minute, I'd work with Quentin.
Oh, why?
Not a director like Quentin. I'd like to work with Quentin. Would you put in a good word for me, please, Michael? Oh, my God.
As long as we're in it together.
I'll bring you to a party tonight if you'll get me into a Tarantino film. With you.
Count me in, yeah.
Sounds like a good deal. Yeah.
And you.
All joking aside, we've been talking a lot on this set about this past year in the entertainment industry, how we really have been seeing a sea change, particularly when it comes to the role of women in Hollywood, women speaking out about the current climate there. What do you think about men, Michael? Should men, actors, be saying more, doing more to try and change things?
Well, at the moment, I'm kind of surrounded. What am I going to say? I think that, the world would be kind of lonely without women. I mean, let's face it. And I have 7 children, and, I've been blessed enough to understand that they're the creatures that bring life to this earth, including myself and my mother, of course. I think women have been greatly misunderstood for many, many, many years, and I have a tremendous amount to say about it, but I don't know how much time we have. I just think that I think that it's good that there's been a tremendous awareness now of some bad behavior and things that were considered to be normal. And, well, that's just the way it is, kind of an attitude. And I would never say that I didn't know about it, because I did. But the thing is who are you going to talk to about it? You're going to call CBS and tell them. It became a fear factor, I think, much more for the girls than it did for men, because we were just going, them dumb broads. And it's a egotistical male ideal. And there's 2 sides to the story of it. But I like what I see, and I'm all for the equality.
Right. Well, we're going to talk a bit more about that throughout the show, of course, with Jane and Sabrina. Just take a moment now. There's a segment that we do on this show to kind of spin things on their ear a little bit. We call it Men of Worth. Now, this is a segment where we actually ask men questions that women usually get asked. You're now about to discover the answers from the incredible star of the most Emmy-awarded show in history, Game of Thrones. That's Nikolai Coster-Waldau, and the French comedian and actor of Sink or Swim and C'est la Vie, Alban Ivanov.
I wouldn't use the word complicated. It's uncomfortable and awkward.
Soria Bonali. C'est ce que j'aime quand ça reste pas dans les règles. Et le coup du salto, pour moi, c'est un classique. Ça reste la plus grande patineuse française de tous les temps. Et imagine-moi Soria Bonali. Fais l'effort. Oscar.
As a male actor, you get all these interesting questions, and the woman is being asked questions like that. I'm really impressed by their patience. The last year, you understand that the patience is up. No more.
Dans la société d'aujourd'hui, je pense que c'est plus facile d'être un homme qu'une femme. Rien que le fait qu'un homme et une femme pour le même travail, ça ne soit pas payé pareil, c'est honteux.
I've worked with lots of actors that earn more than me. Miracles do happen.
Non, on l'a vu que, de toute façon, il n'y a pas eu encore de rôle intéressant dans ma jeunesse. Bah, je t'avoue, je suis content de vieillir.
Nikolai Coster-Waldau and Alban Ivanov are men of worth tonight. Jane, let's flip it around. A question for you. If you could choose any iconic men's part that you could have played in your career, what would you have picked?
Lawrence of Arabia.
Ah, it's a good one. Sabrina, how about you?
Terminator.
The Terminator.
Cassie, how about you? Is there an iconic men's part you wish that you could play?
One of my favorites was Tristan from Legends of the Fall.
Oh, that's a nice one. Brad Pitt.
Maybe what woman's role would you want to play?
Yeah.
Calamity Jane.
Good answer, Michael. Sabrina, let's focus on your career a little bit now. You're here in Cannes as part of the Academy Talents program, and if you don't know this program, it actually gives actors the chance to direct. You're here with a short film that you directed. It's called On va manquer, or Miss Out. Tell us a bit more about this film.
Donc le concept déjà des talents canadiens.
The concept, first of all, of this Academy Talent is
quatre
to
jeunes talents
stress
qui n'ont pas fait
these
grand-chose avant.
actors, actresses
Ça a été
that
un
haven't
réel
been
plaisir
behind the
pour moi.
camera and before, and it's a real pleasure for me to take part in this
Le temps que ça arrive.
event.
Et pour parler un petit peu de l'histoire,
And
c'est
to talk
l'histoire
about
de
the
cette
story,
famille qui
it's
s'apprête
about
à
this
accueillir
family
la
that
grand-mère
is going
qui
to be
arrive
welcoming
d'Algérie
the grandmother coming
pour
from
cette grosse
Algeria.
fête qui est l'Aïd,
There's going
la
to be
fête de
this
l'Aïd.
big feast,
Et
the
donc
Eid
une
celebration.
mascarade, un
And
spectacle
so there's
va
a
se mettre
show
en place
that's
pour
going to be
l'accueillir.
set up to welcome
Mon
her.
court-métrage essaie de
And so
traiter
the
sur
short
le poids du
film
regard de l'autre
handles
et à
this
quel point
theme
on
of
est prêt à se
how
travestir
we
pour plaire à
are
l'autre.
ready to disguise ourselves and change things to please others.
Is that something? Something you're familiar with, Jane? There's lots of strong characters in this film. How much of it did you base on your own family?
J'avoue que oui.
Well, I confess a
Bien sûr
lot.
que oui.
Yes, of course. It was
C'est
based on
vrai
my
que
own
j'ai
family.
écrit ce rôle de
I
maman
wrote
qui
this role of the
qui est une
mother
femme forte,
who is a strong
libre,
woman,
qui ne se laisse
free,
pas faire.
who
Ma
really
mère, c'est cette femme-là.
is like this.
Mais
My
qui
mother's like
effectivement,
this.
quand on est confronté à
And
sa
when we're
belle-mère qui
confronted
arrive,
with
on a toujours
our
envie
mother-in-law,
de
we
plaire et
do
de
want
faire
to
en sorte
please and we
d'être
want
aimé.
to make
C'est
sure that we
voilà,
are
un besoin de
loved.
reconnaissance,
We need to be
d'amour.
recognized
Oui,
and
ça
get love
parle
back.
aussi de ma maman,
And
bien
so
sûr.
it talks about my mother, of course.
Absolutely. How do you feel? How do you feel now, Sabrina? Do you feel like you're ready to move toward a feature film? For example, what film of Jane's or of Michael's do you wish that you could have directed?
Bien sûr que je pense que là j'ai
Of
attrapé
course.
le virus de la
I
réalisation.
have the virus now of directing films.
J'en rêve, je
So
rêve
I
de faire un long
would dream
métrage.
to do a
Ma
feature
maman
film.
justement à
My
l'époque m'avait
mother
fait
at that
découvrir
time had me
Barbarella,
discover Barbarella,
Jeanne que j'avais trouvé
and that I found
incroyable
that
en
was
super
really
héroïne parce que
fantastic
c'est une super
in
héroïne dans la
her
vie.
hero role
C'est
because
un
she is one
modèle,
on
c'est
the
un
film, in the
exemple.
movie screen, but also in real life, she's a real
Voilà, j'aurais
heroine.
rêvé réaliser
And so
Barbarella.
that
Let's
is
do
why
a
Barbarella.
sequel.
Ah, a sequel.
I have an idea.
Sabrina, you've also had such a great acting career in France. More than 50 films that you've made in your young career. The Source, Of Gods and Men, Couscous. But it seems like you prefer what we might call art house movies, art house types of directors. Is that the kind of film you want to make as well?
Je sais que j'ai
I
envie
do
de
know
faire passer un
that
message,
I would
de
like to
dénoncer
transmit
certaines
messages.
choses.
I would like to condemn certain
C'est vrai qu'en
practices.
tant qu'actrice,
As
j'aime
an
jouer
actress,
ces choses
I
un
do
peu
like playing
parfois
these
intenses,
kinds
un
of
peu
roles that are very
profondes.
intense and very deep.
Il n'y a pas longtemps, je me suis
Not
laissée
too long
aller
ago,
à tenter
I
de la comédie.
was trying to
J'aime
also
aussi,
do some
dans
comedy
mon
as well.
film que j'ai
In
réalisé,
the
j'essaie
movie
de
that
faire
I
passer un
directed,
message
I
avec quand
want to
même de la
transmit a
légèreté.
message, but also it's lighthearted.
Si je pouvais toucher à
If
tout,
I could touch a little bit of
je pense que ce
everything,
qu'il y a
that would be
de
great.
jouissif pour une
And
actrice, c'est de
that's
se
what's so
diversifier, de
exciting
faire des choses
for
différentes.
an actress
Pourquoi
and director
choisir?
to do different kinds of genres.
Your very first film was Games of Love and Chance by Abdelatif Keshish, who's the director of Blue is the Warmest Color, that actually won the Palme d'Or here in Cannes in 2013. And I heard that at the beginning of your career, you got this part thanks to your mom. Did she push you? Stage mom?
Oui, effectivement.
Yes, yes,
Effectivement,
that's
c'est ma
true.
maman,
It was my mother
qui a trouvé une affiche
who found
pas très loin de
this
chez moi. Moi, je viens d'une banlieue
announcement,
parisienne,
and so I come
assez
from a,
difficile.
a
Et donc,
sensitive
c'était pendant
neighborhood of
l'été, j'avais
Paris.
13 ans. On n'avait pas assez d'argent
Difficult
pour
neighborhood,
partir en
and
vacances. Elle m'a dit, est-ce que
at
t'as
that time
envie
we didn't have a
d'essayer
lot of
comme une
money
activité, ça
to
allait
go
nous
on
occuper pour
vacation, and then
l'après-midi.
so she said, "What would you like to do for the summer? Have a
pas,
special summer
rêver,
activity." And
espérer
at that
être
point, I
actrice,
really
mais je me suis
was
dit,
not
allez, pourquoi pas.
dreaming of being
Je
an
me retrouve
actress
là.
when I was 13, but I said, "Why not?"
And since then, Sabrina, you've had such a great career. You worked with Ashghar Farhadi, who directed this year's opening film in Cannes, everybody knows. And you also recently finished shooting the comedy Break, for which you trained as a break dancer for over a year. Just before we wrap up your part of the interview, can you show us a little move? Teach us a little breakdancing move? Come on, please. In that dress. Sabrina, come on.
Avec sa tenue, ça va être
Well,
compliqué.
with this dress, it might be a little bit complicated.
All right, go. Do a wave.
Well, I'll do what I can.
Jane, can you do a wave? Can you break dance? Can you do a wave? I can't do it. She's smart enough to not make herself ridiculous and try like I was. We have some questions as well from social media. We're going to go to one now, which comes from Kimberly Carminati. Is that it? At Kimberly Carminati? We should have that. There it is. What have you never told to your best friend that you would like to tell her today? Jane, would you like to say something to your best friend that you've never told her until today?
No, I've said everything to my best friend that I have to say. I can't think of anything new right now.
Oh, okay.
Except that I wish he was here with me.
Aw. Michael, how about you? Is there something you would say to your best friend?
Well, there's a lot of them that aren't here anymore that I'd like to ask them to come back.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Sabrina, here?
Oh, bah moi, je vais pas
Well,
faire
I
très nouveau, mais
I'm
ça
not
va
going
être
to say
juste que je
anything
suis
that's
fière
new,
d'elle et que
just
je la
I'm very
remercie de me
proud
supporter
of
tous les jours.
them to have really supported me every day.
Thank you so much, Sabrina. Well, it's now time for our special segment here on the show called The Rendezvous. It's an up-close and personal interview with a star. And this evening we will talk to Bollywood superstar and the most influential woman in India, Deepika Padukone. Take a look.
I'd like to believe that every single woman is a warrior. We're all warriors. A woman is faced with different challenges every single day. I think she plays different roles. It requires a certain amount of power and strength and courage to be able to do that every single day. I think women sometimes are a bit too hard on themselves. I used to be like that myself. I've learned a lot from being an athlete. It teaches you dedication, discipline, determination, and to not be afraid to fail. Failure is a part of our lives. I think men feel it as well, but I just feel like maybe women express themselves better or express themselves differently. We will all make some mistakes along the way. They make us who we are. It's important to do everything in your life without any fear. When I say I am fearless, I mean in the truest sense that I am fearless. When you know you're doing something right, you have nothing to be fearful of.
Deepika Padukone, and a big thank you to our stellar cast of The Rendezvous over the past week. We have seen here with us in The Rendezvous Louise Bourgoin, Layla Bekti, Asia Naomi King, Isabella Adjani, Julianne Moore, and Jane Fonda. Jane, it's so great to have you with us here tonight. I know you were here 40 years ago to present the incredible Coming Home that was in the running for the Palme d'Or in 1978. What was Cannes like then?
Quieter. It was quieter. There wasn't as much focus on what you were wearing and jewelry and things like that. It was focus on movies, on making films, and it was very, very nice.
Do you wish it was more like that today?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Also during hey, fair enough. Also during that period, also during that time in the 70s, you did so many of your great roles like Clute, for example, right in the middle of the women's movement. Did you feel at that time as if you were a feminist icon? You were becoming a feminist icon?
It was the beginning of my becoming a feminist, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what was it?
And I think it helped me perform the way I did in that film.
And what was it, do you think, over the years, over the decades, that's made you the person you are today?
I have wonderful friends who put starch in my spine and who inspire me and make me brave. Women friends, and I'm brave, and I just keep going, you know.
Jane, you're also one of the very rare people in film history to have received an honorary Palme d'Or here in Cannes. That was in 2007. What did that represent for you?
Well, it was really strange because I came to, there was a screening of 12 Angry Men, 12 Hommes en colère, honoring my father, and there was a dinner, and I thought I was honoring my father, and so I made a whole speech about my father, and then Gilles Jacob, who ran the festival then, presented me with this honor. I practically died. I mean, I was so surprised. I had no idea. It was a huge honor.
And as you mentioned, you do come from acting royalty. Your father, of course, the great actor Henry Fonda. You've made so many great films yourself. 2 Oscars for Clute and Coming Home. But is it true that in the beginning, when you were young, you originally didn't want to be an actress?
No, I didn't want to be an actor.
Why?
No. I don't know. I was shy. I didn't think that I had what it took to be an actor, but I needed to get a job, and so I studied with Lee Strasberg, and he told me I had talent, and that persuaded me to do it.
And it was a good thing that he did.
I'm very grateful. Yes.
You once said...
Did your father want you to be an actor?
No.
I always kind of figured that.
No, he didn't.
Sorry to jump in.
No. Because it's so hard to succeed as an actor, and he was afraid I'd end up doing automobile shows or something.
Sure, he loved you very, very, very much.
I guess.
Yeah.
I certainly loved him. I produced on Golden Pond
I know you did.
for him right before he died, and he won his Oscar for that. And that was a great experience.
I know you did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jane, you once said, if I wasn't acting, I'd probably...
Institutionalized. I never said that.
You didn't say that.
No, there's other reasons why I would have been institutionalized, but not,
all right.
Acting is not my therapy.
So what's been
more?
Activism has been more your therapy. Tell me about that.
And you know, I think it's really important for actors to have something else in their life besides acting.
Yeah.
That is central, don't you think? Because it's great for the heart, but it's terrible on the nerves to be an actor, because you never know, are you going to work again? You're totally dependent on other people hiring you. And what was the question?
Well, no, it's all right. We were talking about therapy, about coming into your own over the years. But I just want to take a moment to talk about your last movie, because you are still working incredibly.
I can't
your
believe
movie
it.
Book Club is
it's very funny.
Coming out in a couple of days.
It's really funny.
Just in a nutshell, it tells the story of 4 friends who are in a book club and read 50 Shades of Grey and realize their romantic life needs a little kick. It's fascinating, though, because as you say, it's funny, but it also treats a subject that's very taboo, sexuality in older women.
Yeah.
Was that what intrigued you in the project?
No, I wanted to get to know those women. I'd never worked with any of them. I hardly knew any of them, and it was a very funny script. So between the script and it was a job, I liked having a job, and then I wanted to work with these women. And none of us knew if it was going to be any good. But I think people really like it, and I'm very happy.
How did Diane Keaton get billing above you?
She asked for it, and I said, sure.
It was very gracious.
She was the first one to sign on, so.
It was very gracious of you.
Jane, you also star. Jane also has a hit TV show, you might know, Grace and Frankie with Lily Tomlin.
With the brilliant Lily Tomlin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who you've known for years. You were talking before about female friendships. Do you feel that that female friendship is what perhaps helps women live longer than men?
Yeah, absolutely. And look at Michael almost fell over backwards.
I didn't hear that statistic.
Yeah, it is a statistic, Michael.
We used to live 8 years longer than you.
Well,
but we're catching up. Now it's only 5 years.
Oh, you're catching up.
And research shows, this isn't just my idea, research shows that something happens between women when they're together. There's an evolutionary reason that we don't have time to go into. But we meet again as friends, and we drill right down to the gut, right down to the soul level. We don't talk about sex and cars and sports and all those things that you guys do.
Yes, you do.
No. there's a laughter that releases tension. And I mean, what would we do without our women friends? It's the most important thing. That's why I love book club, because it shows the importance of women friends. You know, men are afraid to ask for help. Men are afraid to show that they're sad or that, you know, they're in trouble. But we call each other up, right?
Yeah.
Our girlfriends and say, I need you to come over and help me right now. Anyway, yes. That's
and
why we
films
live
like
longer.
that are great because they show the reality of our experience.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We lean on each other. We
That's
talk
right.
to each other about
You
things.
know, and most mass media culture, you know, the cultural expression show us competing with each other always.
Yes.
And that's what kind of gets the news, and they don't realize that there's something else going on that's been going on since thousands of years.
Jane, you're such an inspiration to so many women around the world. It's just so wonderful to have you on the show again. If you could give a piece of advice to younger women today, just in a sentence, a word or two, what would you suggest to women to make themselves feel better about themselves, to get where you seem to be today?
You don't want to use the same things that I got together. And I don't know. It's don't give up. You know, don't give up. It can get better. Try to understand what your strengths are and move towards your strengths and be a resistor. Resist tyrants. You know, until the very end. Don't be afraid of people not liking you. You know, you can't really make a difference and have everyone like you. It's okay. Just do what you need to do to make life better for yourself and your family and your community.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to take a moment now to go over and check in on Val Garland. Val Garland, who is recreating Tilan Blondeau's look now on Imen in the beauty salon. As she's doing that, we're going to also move toward our segment on the show, which is called Beauty versus Cinema. Now, just to situate you, this is a short interview where each question has two different answers, one having to do with beauty and the other with cinema. For example, Michael, if I say to you, your favorite beauty product.
You know, I don't know. I really don't use hardly nothing. It's ignorant. I realize that. I'd be better off using some things for something. But my wife actually has to practically force me to put moisturizer on my face at night. And
good for her.
I lay there and I let her do it. You know, it's so I don't know what kind of
well, that's good.
answer that is, but.
That's fine. That's good, Cassie.
I'm not a product guy.
If I said your favorite movie, what's your favorite movie?
Oh, my favorite movie. I was just going to say my favorite beauty product, I think, is humor.
It's humor.
I really think that's the prettiest thing when you see somebody, like, feeling joy and humor. But my favorite movie? Gosh, that's a hard one.
Jane, Sabrina, you guys, what's the movie that pops up on the top of your head? Favorite movie?
Mon film préféré?
My favorite movie? Well, let's see. That's a hard question.
Faire un top 3, mais...
So I could do a top 3.
Oh, Jane, give us one. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Je vous ai refilé la...
So I've thrown the question over to you, Jane.
It's too many. I don't know.
Oh, you guys are all very gracious. All right, well, I'll let you think about it. We are going to now ask those very same questions to the British singer and the fashionista, Cheryl. Take a look.
Smoky eye, ghost. Walking Cannes red carpet and feeling like you're part of this massive event where every glamorous woman from around the world home alone at Christmas time with the family. Don't overuse your product. If you put too much on, you can't take it off. Just because it's a cartoon or Disney Pixar does not mean it does not get you in the emotions and can really make you feel things. I always make sure that I put on lots of moisturizer underneath foundation. I will always have popcorn when driving or watching a movie.
If you've been watching our show since the beginning of the Cannes Festival, you know that we like to challenge our special guests with a little quiz. Tonight, we've got the Jane Fonda Book Club Challenge. All right, Jane, I just have a series of quick questions for you, and it's up to you to give us the answer. If you agree, you can have a pass, but if these questions suit you, please respond. What book would you recommend in order to give your brain a workout?
Anything by Ta-Nehisi Coates. He's
great.
an African-American young writer who writes about race very brilliantly.
Excellent. He's a fantastic
And white
writer.
people need to do that so that we understand more what that experience is like.
Absolutely. Second question. What series would you binge watch for a TV marathon?
Grace and Frankie.
Well, good answer. You'll notice, Jane, some of these questions have a bit of a sporty spin, given all of your fantastic experience as a workout professional. Which award would you lift to build up your arms?
My 2 Oscars.
Yes, that is the right answer. On which red carpet are you most likely to do yoga? The Cannes Film Festival, the Oscars, or the Venice Film Festival?
Venice, because the Italians are so forgiving.
Which actor would you like to help work out personally?
Janelle Monáe.
Oh.
That took you by surprise.
It did.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie soundtrack to exercise to?
Movie soundtrack?
Would you exercise to a movie soundtrack?
I can't think of any, but anything by Michael Jackson, I would want to exercise.
I think we'd all agree to that. Jane Fonda, thank you so much for that. Because we are in Cannes, I know you have many awards already, but we couldn't let you go without giving you your own award here on the show. We are now going to give you the Golden Book in honor of Book Club.
Wow.
Could you please sign it for us? The gold, I don't think it opens. I don't think it opens.
It's fake.
It's fake. It's fake. Jane
It's
Fonda.
not even a book.
Jane Fonda, the star of the oh, you know. Jane Fonda, the star of the book.
I'm going to give it to you, Michael.
Michael gets it. Jane Fonda, the star of the book club. The book club is coming out in the States in just a few days' time.
Friday, yeah.
Then around the world. Jane Fonda, thank you so much. In the meantime, we're just going to pop back to the beauty salon. We're going to check in with Val. Val, are you happy with what you've been doing?
I think she looks absolutely gorgeous. I've broken Iman's look down into 3 easy steps. Step 1 is called Fresh Flush. You'll need foundation, blush, and bronzer. Step 2 is all about Cherry My Cherie. So I've used some colours from here, some mattes, some metallics to make this gorgeous smoked out eye. I call it Tantalise. I've used a kohl pencil in the waterline and around the eye shape. And then the tantalising eyes are completed with X-Fibre lash lengthening mascara. The final step is in the nude. It is infallible Le Chocolat lip colour, and it's so amazing. It melts on the mouth and it smells delicious. It's like eating chocolate. Doesn't she look gorgeous?
Oh, Val. Oh, Val, she does look gorgeous. I just have one more quick question from our social network. So we got a question now from Juliette Topaliana. Val, she asks you, what's the proper way to pick a foundation? It's true, that's really hard to do.
Yeah, that's a question that I get asked an awful lot. Most people pick up a foundation and they look at the colour on their hand. No. You have to take the colour that you think is yours, apply it on your jawline here, and the top tip is to go outside into natural daylight with a mirror. And if the colour has melted into your skin and become your skin, then that is the right colour.
Fantastic. Thank you, Val, for that tip. Val, come join us. Come join us on the set. The great Val Garland, makeup artist. The great Val Garland, the makeup artist to the star. Her book is coming out in October. Hi, Val. Your book is called Validated. We just got a scoop today. This is the cover of the book that's coming out in October. Thank you so much to you. Cassie, Michael, thank you so much for coming in. Great to have you on the show. Iman, it's très joli. Thank you for coming on the show. Sabrina, wonderful to have you on the show. Good luck with your directing career. And ladies and gentlemen, the great Jane Fonda, thank you so much. A big thank you as well to Thierry Frémont and the Cannes Film Festival for welcoming us here on the Croisette. This was the Worth It Show imagined by L'Oréal Paris. You can watch the whole shows anytime on YouTube. We'll see you around.